Tiera here on Top Shop Tuesdays. I am here sitting with the lovely
Michelle Clark.
Okay, it's Michelle Clark. I'm excited. I am so excited for today. We already have been speaking backstage, and the conversation has just been so great. But I'm really excited to dive into everything that you are and that you have going on to help just the universe.
Yes. To impact as many people.
Doing here. Okay, so let's dive in. Tell us what you want to tell us first.
Okay, so my name is Michelle Clark. I am the co-owner of Double Dutch Aerobics. I own it along with my husband. We own the Double Dutch Aerobics Studio, the first ever Double Dutch Aerobics Studio, which is located in 2030 Bolton Road. I'm a world champion in Double Dutch. We teach everyone how to jump Double Dutch in less than 1 minute, guaranteed. Guaranteed. Less than 1 minute, guaranteed. We've been on the Wendy Williams show. We've been on Strahan and Sarah. We've been on every news station you can imagine. We've been on tours. We do Essence Fest every year.
That is dope.
Basically, just Google Double Dutch Aerobics, follow Double Dutch Aerobics. It's a fun fitness, and you enjoy. We really enjoy what we do, and it shows through our work. And our clients, customers, friends, family is what we call them. They really enjoy the workout, and we'll be there tonight because we're there every night.
Okay. That is so dope. Double Dutch in 1 minute.
We teach everyone how to jump Double Dutch in less than 1 minute, guarantee. We always tell people, you didn't have teachers. Right. You had people that could do it. But I'm a world champion. My husband's a master instructor. Yes. So we have a specific, format, which is why we're able to teach you.
Okay, so my question is, how did you get this much involved into Double Dutch to become a world champion, first of all?
So I've been jumping since I was 4 years old.
Okay.
I'm from Brooklyn, BK.
Okay.
I jumped on a team called the Jammin' Jumpers with my coach, Ruth Payne. Shout out to Brooklyn, Ruth Payne, Jammin' Jumpers. And first you do local competitions on the team, then you do state competitions. When you win the state competition, you're then invited to the world competition, and my team won the world competition. And since then, it's funny, I went to acting school, I did all of this, and they always tell you in acting school, if there's something else that you love, then go do that. The other thing that I always loved was Double Dutch, but I had no idea that it could be a full-time business. Like, I had no clue. No one told me that. So my husband, who I was teaching spin class, I told him I could jump, but everyone in New York says they're really good. Like, if you meet somebody from New York, they're like, I'm the queen of Double Dutch. Everyone says that. Yes. So he thought I was the queen the way everybody else was the queen. And he saw my skills at an event, and he was like, oh, I had an idea to start an adult class. And he was like, you have to, like, literally you have to do it. I didn't know you were that good at teaching, that good at, like, I didn't know you were that good. And so the next week I started the class. And since then, we started in New York. And because we left, we started a certification where we certified teachers with our formatted program so that they could teach it in their state, like Zumba and spin.
Wow. Yeah. So wait, I can learn.
Yes.
I can learn Double Dutch.
Yes.
And then teach other people.
Yeah, you can learn how to jump. So in the class, you'll learn how to jump Double Dutch. You'll learn tricks. If you wanted to teach a Double Dutch Aerobics class yourself, you would then come to certification weekend, where you learn how to not only jump, but through the whole weekend. The weekend is 18 hours. You learn the format on how to teach someone in less than a minute, and then you learn our formatted class so that you can then duplicate it in your state. We currently have teachers in North Carolina, South Carolina, Schenectady, of course, New York. And so the goal is to have 1 million Double Dutch Aerobics everywhere.
Yes. Oh my goodness, this is so innovative.
Yeah.
This is so innovative. Yes. I love this. Wow. Okay.
We're on tour with DJ Envy now.
Oh, dope.
We do all the car shows with him. So we set up a station, and because we teach anyone in less than a minute, the joy from the kids and the adults is just, it's really good. My mom actually came with us to one of the events in Miami. So we're on tour with him again this year for all of the car shows. And it's the joy. Yeah. It's joy. It's needed. It's fun. Yeah, you cannot like be mad jumping up and down. Like there's no way.
No.
Yes.
No. Yeah. Especially like you're getting that workout in at the same time. The camaraderie of the people.
Yes. The
that
community.
Energy,
yes.
That energy. Double dutching alone. Like, I just remember when I was a kid, like you said, everybody just thinks that they can double dutch.
Yes.
So, like, that immediately brings me back to my childhood.
Yes.
And I think that is what is another thing is so important, especially as adults. We feel like we aren't supposed to still
have fun
and be kids, or still just at least allow that to come out of you sometimes.
Yes.
Like, so that is, I'm definitely gonna be there. Y'all need to be there. Okay?
Yes, and even as an instructor, part of the joy is watching adults be like children. Right. You know what I mean? Like, it's so fulfilling on our end to see our students, talk about their heavy work day or talk about this is bothering them, and then literally seeing them laughing and like high-fiving and cracking up. It's very fulfilling as the instructor. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. And that lifts us up because it's hard. We really created this lane, especially to make it a full-time business. So there's hard times, there's low, But the joy of the people, and even watching them become friends outside, they go to brunch together. Because as adults, where do you make friends? You're not in school no more. I know. So
you have to take those type of opportunities to make new friends. Yeah.
And watching them, watching just beyond the ropes, like them create community outside of class, is also really joyful for us because we've created a space where adults can make friends. Yeah. And that's important. That's huge. Yeah. You don't want to do life alone. That's not fun.
No.
Yes.
And you mentioned y'all are on tour with DJ Envy. So how is the tour going? What's the next up and coming date?
Oh, so we're doing his car shows. So the next date, the first one is, and I don't know if it's out, but he talked about it on the radio. So the next one is in Houston. Okay. So it's June through December.
Okay.
So the next one, yes. So nice. June around Father's Day is the first one, and that first one is going to be in Houston.
Okay. Fun.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's gonna be fun.
And then we also do our own tour. So his tour, we're just setting up a station called the Jump Station, which is something we do as well. But we're also going to be having the classes in those states as we go.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to be doing our classes outside of DJ Envy, but since we're in the state, it's just like, why not do it at the same time?
Yeah. Okay, that's hot. Okay, so that is so dope. I can't wait till when y'all have something here.
Yes.
Because I am there.
Oh yeah, we have classes here 6 days a week. Monday.
Yes, okay. Classes 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Y'all got that.
Yes.
Y'all better be there. Okay, so what else? Because we were talking.
I'll get that.
Now I have to tap into this because I feel like this is it will just help so many other women.
Yes. Yes.
We I don't even know where to begin because so menstrual cycles.
Yes.
We'll just start there.
We'll start this. I'll tell you exactly what I am. So I am also a fibroid elimination coach.
Okay.
So specifically my story was I suffered from fibroids and I was told by 3 doctors that I would not be able to have children if I did not get an abdominal myomectomy. Now, I want to be clear. There's absolutely nothing wrong with surgery if that is your choice.
Right.
There's something wrong when we don't know all of our options.
Right.
So my biggest thing is that we need to know every single option that we have so that we can decide, we can be in charge of our own wombs and not be subjected to exactly what the doctor tells us we have to do.
Right.
So for 2 years, I was trying to get pregnant. The fibroids were actually in a place where implantation happened. So I would get pregnant. The pregnancy test would stay positive, but I couldn't hold the pregnancy because the fibroid would actually block the baby and the fibroid couldn't live in the same space.
So essentially, that's a miscarriage.
Yes, I had 2 I had 2 miscarriages. And I also went to a fertility office who also told me you are not going to be able to have children unless you get an abdominal myomectomy. So, and then I also looked into fibroid embolization, and this is how I have to say this. 5 years ago, I went to get a fibroid embolization, examination to see if I was a candidate for that surgery.
Right.
They told me, well, Dr. Littman specifically, who's super popular, he told me that if you want children, this surgery is not for you. That's when Cynthia Bailey was their biggest client, and she already had children. So their biggest thing was, if you want children, this is not a surgery you should get because it can cause late-term miscarriage. So I wasn't a candidate for fibroid embolization. Now, here's what's important. This is 5 years later. They are now advertising and selling fibroid embolization surgery for everyone, even if you want children. And that scares the mess out of me, because it's like, wait a minute, 5 years ago, you told me that wasn't an option for me if I wanted children. So like, I mean, it's so much. So let me just say exactly what I do. So now, the way that I healed was I did 2 30-day juice cleanses. Okay. And I did a 17-day water fast. I had a fibroid fall out in the toilet. And I was able to have, and there's a lot of details to the story. I did write a book, Bye Fibroids.
Yes, y'all go get that book. Okay?
And it's the link in my bio, Hey Michelle Clark. But I was able to have children without an abdominal myomectomy. Which means I was able to give birth vaginally. Right. And I was able to, I want more. I think I might want another child. And
he's so precious.
I have three. I was able to have 3 children. Yes. I have a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 8-month-old. And I'm going to tell you something about God that's hysterical. You know, I was fighting to have a baby. Oh my God. You know, like I was water fasting. I became vegan. I did 2 30-day juice cleanses. I was trying to eat a lot of raw vegan. I was fighting to have kids. Yeah. And I got pregnant the first time. I was like, oh my God, thank you, Jesus. Then the second time, I was like, wait a minute, wait, okay.
What's happening?
I'm pregnant already? Because you have to imagine, I tested every month. I did the test every month. I waited for, I watched my period. I did the ovulation, And I feel like God was saying, you didn't even know, but your fight, I had 3 kids back to back. Wow. And I thought I was fighting just to be able to become a mom, And then now 3 times over. Yes. Baby. And I want another one. And the way I know my womb is okay is because now my periods are like 3 days. They're soft and tender. I could plan a trip. We went to Jamaica and I think I was on my period. It doesn't even matter anymore. Yeah. Like my trips used to be planned around like, oh no.
Oh, girl, I don't
want my period to be, I can't. You know what I mean? Or I used to have to lay a towel in the bed. I mean, it was gangster. And we have to tell our teenagers, not only teenagers, women in their 30s, 20s, and especially our teenagers, that heavy periods are a sign of your womb being sick. And I want people to think about this. What elimination is painful? When you poop, if it's painful, isn't that problematic? Yeah. If you have to urine and it's painful, isn't that problematic? If you're crying and your tears burn, isn't that problematic? Yeah. Elimination from the body is not painful. Right. Your period, your menstrual cycle is a form of your body eliminating. Right. So why do we accept that it's painful?
Yeah, it's not normal.
And we've normalized it.
And look, and see, and that's what has been so, for a decade. I mean, it's been a part of the culture in what we know, that's just normal. Even down to like old school remedies.
Yes.
To help your cramps. Like I was that person when I was growing up. Like I told you back, like I had the worst cycles and they are just now because I did some of the things that you have done. I pretty much changed everything. Yes. With how I ate. Yeah. Even down to like I mentioned to you, which I'm sure there's plenty other women that did this step thinking that this was going to help their cycle. Mm-hmm. At some point, maybe in high school, after high school, you got on birth control.
Yep, and doctors sold you that as the remedy.
And I think I was on it from 18 to 19-ish. Mm-hmm. I blew up. My hormones were
out of order because it's a synthetic hormone. Yes.
And then getting off of it, it might have been worse.
Yes.
It might have been worse.
Because the problem was never fixed. It was only masked. Yeah. So that underneath that, especially because they didn't tell you, you continue doing the same thing. Why would you change? You continue doing the same thing. And it makes me think about everything. I remember I had a doctor's appointment when I was younger and she told me I had a cyst and I was so nervous when she said it. Yeah. And she said, oh, it's okay. It fluctuates up and down with your period. Here's what I want to be clear on. Then years later, I'm suffering, right? Right. Here's what I want to be clear on. Tumors are not normal in your body. Right. Period. Right. So when doctors tell you, oh, I hate this statement, and you've heard this doctors say this all the time. if it's not bothering you, we won't bother it. It's a tumor in my body. What are you talking about?
Yes.
The only thing that happens when you leave a tumor and you don't change any behavior, right, it's just how did it get there in the first place? Right. So if it got there from what you're doing, and the doctor tells you, if it's not bothering you, we're not going to bother it.
But don't change nothing.
Right. Say it again.
Don't change
because to figure out why it got there in the first place. Because the only thing that's going to happen, especially if you don't know, is it's going to grow. That's how it got there in the first place.
Yeah.
That's how it got there in the first place.
Yeah. See, you made a comment that I love. And you said, and this is, go to doctors. We're not saying don't.
No, go to your doctor.
Go to your doctor.
Because I can't tell you have a fibroid. Only your doctor can tell you that. Yes.
But they're not nutritionists.
No.
Doctors are not nutritionists.
No.
That's not what they practice. So you're not going to go to your doctor and hear them tell you, like how you mentioned, try a water fast.
Yes. And here's the thing too, and this is not a beat up on doctors. I want to be clear.
Right.
I think we have to change our perspective of doctors. I think we're too dependent on them for our health. Yes. And that's where they get all the blame. They don't deserve the blame. The fact is, I can't give myself an ultrasound. The fact is, I can't measure a fibroid. The fact is, if I am in an emergency and I need, like my father had 6 more years of life, rest in peace to my dad, because he got a liver transplant. I can't do that. Only doctors can do that. Science is amazing. Yeah. I want to be clear on that. But our thing is we depend on them for our health. And we have to stop. They're one source. So, okay, you go to the doctor, let them diagnose you. Okay, your period is heavy because you have this, A, B, C, D, E, and then you have to work.
Yeah.
So remember, you have to participate in your healing.
Yep.
If you
the body
want that,
does heal itself.
So doctors are scientists, not nutritionists. They're going to give you a scientific experiment they had that they put in a pill that will help you with the problem. So remember, their job is also to solve the problem. You come to them, you're telling them you're having debilitating periods, you can't go to work, you can't go to school. Here's their answer. How can I fix this problem? Without your participation. Because they can't tell you to go home and change nothing, because what if you don't do it?
Right.
So their thing is, what can we do without any of your participation to solve your problem?
Which is short term.
Right. So to solve your problem, they're going to give you a synthetic hormone, which was created in a science lab to help your problem. Now, you just asked them, you didn't say the root. You didn't ask them all of that.
Right.
You asked them, doctor, fix me.
Yeah.
I have a problem. Can you fix me today? They can. The temporary fix is I'm going to give you this hormonal pill, but you're going to go home. You're not going to have heavy periods anymore, but you have to do the work.
Yeah.
You have to say,
takes work.
And it takes work. And the only thing I think doctors need to tell you is that we're fixing the symptoms.
Right.
That's the only thing I feel like they should be obligated to tell you.
Yeah.
Is that because we don't know.
Yeah.
But we don't know because of what we've been taught. We've been taught that doctors are the holy grail of health and everything. If we didn't learn that, then we would go, oh, okay, doc, thanks for the information. Thank you. Let me go.
Right.
And yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's taking the steps, what we're doing now. Yeah. You know what I mean? To spread more knowledge, to enlighten people of changing how you eat. That's like a game changer.
And the thing is, I'm gonna be honest, y'all, it's not as hard as it used to be. There are so many options here. I'm about to get roasted series after this. There are so many options, especially in Atlanta. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh my goodness. There are so many options that you're not as limited as you think you are before you do your research. So when you first hear it, it feels restricting and scary. And that's so don't restrict yourself or close your mind before you even try. Because as soon as you hear, oh no, I'm not gonna be able to. Don't think about the no's. Think about what you can have. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. And so, with my fibroid elimination program, I actually do a group. It's a group program because you don't want to do this by yourself. So it's called Bye Fibroids, Hello Motherhood. And you learn every single fibroid surgery that there is to see if you want to do, to see, because sometimes what cleansing does is it changes your options. So you might not have to get an abdominal myomectomy. You might be able to do a MyoSure, which is you understand? You can change your options. And I always say this, always try natural first. Yeah. So there are no repercussions from natural. Right. So let's say, God forbid, you get an abdominal myomectomy. You can have scar tissue. Some people end up having hysterectomies on the table, meaning the bad side of it could be infertility forever. Oh, if you try the natural route, route, you haven't messed up. Yeah. I mean, meaning there's what's the repercussion?
You don't have anything to lose.
You have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose.
So I have a question. So what would you say to a woman who is knows that there's something
going on, because the period's a little heavy and painful,
but doesn't know where to start, but doesn't necessarily want to go to a doctor? Because for me, when I was young and I knew it wasn't getting any better, even once I decided to get off the birth control, and I'm just okay, I went to doctors, and so that was when I was just I didn't even care no more. I was just kind of just thugging it. You know what I mean? In pain, thugging it. Yeah. And I mean, I was that girl that had sometimes 7-day, 8-day cycles. I know about it. Just now to where I'm 4 days. Yeah. 5 days. And I'm still on that journey of I know now how it's supposed to be. I know I'm not supposed to be heavy flow. I know I'm not supposed to be cramping to the point where
you need a Motrin I had Motrins in every bag just in case I had them everywhere.
Girl, and I mean, like I told you before, I almost didn't graduate high school because I would miss days to the point where it was just that bad.
I know, it was debilitating,
Going to doctors. So I guess, the question would be, what would you say to someone who is experiencing the heavy bleeding? Yeah. Rough, tough cramps. Yep.
I'll tell you exactly.
Days.
I'll tell you exactly what I tell people to do. So this is so funny because another reason I wanted to get an abdominal myomectomy is because I'm an entrepreneur and I didn't have the insurance to cover it, and it would have cost $30,000 straight money. Ooh. Yeah, it would have cost. So I was like, let me look at another way. Let me tell you how much water fasting costs. Okay. Okay. I got the water from BJ's. No specialized literally the Poland spring water from BJ's is what healed me. Oh, so think about the price comparison. Okay. This is why I said natural is a very good route to try. So let's say, this is another thing. While you're healing, you don't want to go back to the doctor that told you couldn't heal. It's well, who's going to tell me if the fibroid shrunk or not? So I would go to the women's clinic, pay $100 to get an ultrasound. So let's say you have no insurance, right? This is another thing I help with my clients. I help them too if they have insurance, don't have insurance, because you could do how to navigate it. First thing you do, your period's heavy. You don't have no doctor. They want to see you first. You just want to know you just want to know what's going on with your womb, right? So abortion clinics, women clinics, you can pay. The price might have gone up. That was 5 years ago. It was $100. Might be inflation is a little gangster. Yeah. Might be $125 or $200 now. But you can go in without all the red tape of an OBGYN, right? So you go in and they're giving you an ultrasound. And so they can tell you what it is. Now, they're not giving you a prescription. They're not giving you
just that.
They're literally just saying, oh, you have this tumor, inflamed, And that's actually what you need.
That's what you need to know.
So that's with no insurance. That's with no, I can't find a doctor.
Just gotta
that's like you in the streets,
But that's what you need to know.
That's what you need to know. Women's clinics. So that's where you go to just you want to know exactly what's going on. Right. So once you find that out, of course, you're going to be like, oh, snap, this is devastating. The first thing I would say when your period is heavy, the first thing is let go of all dairy. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Everyone thinks they don't eat dairy because they don't drink milk. Lies. Milk is in so much. Look at the back of Tostito lime chips. Look at barbecue chips. You're going to be like, why is milk in Tostito lime? So to avoid dairy, it's not something that you don't eat because you don't eat it. You have to intentionally intentionally
you
avoid
have to
dairy.
Look at the ingredients now.
Yes.
You have to get the ingredients on the bag.
Yes.
Check to see.
And when you go to brunch, you can't eat nothing on the menu.
Okay.
Brunch, you gotta have potatoes and make sure they don't put butter or cheese on the potatoes, because every single brunch, if it's not vegan, is all dairy. Yep. No, it's all dairy.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
Or you can order French fries. That used to be my go-to.
And
French fries
spinach.
And that's it.
Yes,
and you have to make sure they don't put butter on it. Yeah.
No, yeah.
So when I'm telling you that you still are intaking dairy if you don't drink milk.
And that's a big game changer.
And cheese.
I told you that was the thing that I stopped. Well, it was after I kind of stopped with the meat. But when I stopped with the dairy. Dairy is supposed to. Here's the thing about dairy. I don't want to give it a bad name. We use it for the wrong purpose. The purpose of dairy is to grow a baby cow. It's not for you. You stealing it from the baby cow. Yeah. The baby, it's a growth hormone, and it's supposed to. And here's why. Well, when I was a kid, I drank milk. Here's the thing. When you were a kid, you were still growing. Right. It's even worse for you as an adult because you're not growing anymore. Yeah. But growth is still gonna happen. Yeah. There's gonna be a tumor. It's gonna be arthritis, inflammation. It's gonna be MS because you're gonna have inflammation in your brain. Literally, growth is going to happen. Be some nasty growth.
Now, mind you, when you were 6, maybe you grew a little faster, or maybe your boobs grew a little more. But when you're an adult, that inflammation is gonna be a sickness somewhere in your body.
Yeah, that's what starts the
It's gonna be a tumor here. It's gonna be a cyst here. It's going to be a swelling here, meaning it's going to do its job, which is to make something grow. You're not growing anymore, adults, so stop taking growth hormone juice.
Man, you know what? If I would have known just that about dairy alone, like if somebody would have told me to maybe cut the dairy out of my...
First thing.
So much.
First thing.
Even for me, I suffer from eczema too, and it stopped my eczema.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say, so you said go to a women's clinic.
Yep.
Get checked with that first.
If you want to make sure to find out what you have. You could change your diet without it, but if you want to know
specifically,
like what is going on, then the first thing I would do. And if you want, so I help women specifically that are trying to have children because there's a eagerness for time there. Yeah. So that you can balance your hormones by doing, by diet. It may take much longer, right? But if you're in a rush like I was in a rush because I didn't know how long, it was going to take me. Yeah. So water fasting is the fastest way to reset your body hormonally because the body knows how to heal itself. You just have to get out of the way.
So, okay, so to reset your body, so you did 17
days of just water. And no doctor was for it, just to be clear. Every doctor was like, hell to the no.
Don't do this.
No.
Did they say why? Of course.
Well, they said it's not healthy. It's not healthy. They didn't have they're not nutritionists. They were just like, that's just no, they didn't have an answer. It was just like, no.
So 17 days. Now, for some people, when they hear that right away, they're probably going to be like, that's tough.
First thing they're going to say is like, literally, that is so extreme. Okay. And this is what drives me crazy. Getting cut open on a table with your life in danger. That's extreme. Like, I don't think you understand. When you get an abdominal myomectomy, it's a C-section without a baby. They are cutting open. Do you know people pass out on the table? Do you know everyone doesn't come back from the table? Do you know that to have children after you get abdominal myomectomy, you have to get cut open again because you can only have C-sections. So please don't call water extreme when, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, no, for real. Because
when you think about it, it's like
being on a table cut open. And then not knowing.
Yeah. And then it's not even proven. That's another reason. When the doctor told me you could get an abdominal myomectomy. He said you have to get an abdominal myomectomy to have children. But you can suffer from scar tissue. Because remember, it's a C-section. So the scar tissue can actually scar your womb. Yeah. Mind you have to wait 6 months. So the scar tissue may have time to grow. So you can get scar tissue from the abdominal myomectomy, and you may have to get a scar tissue surgery to remove the scar tissue because the scar tissue can also block you from having kids. Wow. So you telling me the surgery's not even it? So you telling me I'm gonna do all I can, max out my credit cards to spend $30,000 to not guarantee that I can have it again?
Man,
I need you to say you get this surgery, you're gonna be pregnant next month. That's what I needed them to say.
And see, that's the thing that we're saying, y'all. It's more about, like you said, knowing your options. And at least try the natural way first.
Yeah, and if you've gotten a abdominoplasty already, and because sometimes people still struggle afterwards because it's not you still do the natural route to get the inflammation and the scar tissue from your womb. Yeah. The goal was to have a kid. It wasn't really like to try to be a health nut. It was literally, what do I have to do to have children? Because suffering from miscarriages was painful. Yeah. I felt guilty as a wife towards my husband because I was like, oh no. And I totally like, if you was with somebody else, you might be, you know what I mean? Yeah. So my fight was to have children. And my last thing I'll say, people always say they'll do anything for their children, right? Mm-hmm. You ask moms now, they'll do anything for their children. Mm-hmm. What I had to understand is that anything is before. So what if the anything is now? So if you have a vision of your children, you'll do anything for them, right? Wow. The anything is now. If you ask me, I have 3 children. If you ask me, would I drink water for 17 days for my babies?
Come on,
easy.
Now. And look at him.
Easy. So the anything sometimes is before. Yeah. That's the anything.
That is beautiful, and that right there is big. That was just inspirational for me because, like I said, I think some women, you go through all of that and you just get so discouraged. Yes. And you get so, you get broken down sometimes. Like you said, you have to plan your days and your life around your cycle, and that is not how it's supposed to be.
No.
That's the other thing. We have got to understand what has been made normal to us.
Yes. That's what we have to understand.
And we have to undo that.
And look how forgiving God is. I ate poison for 400 years. And then it only took me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. 17 days to heal or 2 30-day juice cleanses. Like, the body is so forgiving.
Oh,
I didn't have to spend the amount of time. Imagine if you had to spend the amount of time that you was making yourself sick to heal. The body is so forgiving.
It took so much more time that we don't realize to do the damage.
Yes.
That's why you get so you be so down and depressed, and because it weighs on you.
It weighs on you.
But I will say, having this conversation has been inspirational for me, and I have learned a lot. Yeah. I am grateful to have the convo. Plug one more time where the ladies can learn about the womb and follow you, so we can stay in contact with that, because I definitely am going to be doing my research constantly, and staying on this health
And look
journey.
On YouTube, you'll see a number of women that have healed, because that's how I found about it. I found 2 women on YouTube who healed naturally. So you want women that actually, you know what I'm saying? Yes. Have been through it. And so that's what made me do it. Yeah. I was like, well, if she did it, you know what I mean?
That's why I said, when you started talking to me about it, I was like, wait, hold up, 17 days?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's worth trying.
It's worth trying. Literally, you only get healthier.
Yeah, it's worth
trying.
So
literally, that's it.
Yeah, it's worth
trying. The Hey Michelle Clark is the Instagram page. Hey Michelle Clark at Gmail is the email address. Okay. But Hey Michelle Clark is everything. And for my Double Dutch Aerobics business, I'm there too.
Yes.
Is Double Dutch Aerobics on Instagram. Double Dutch Aerobics at Gmail, and you can Google Double Dutch Aerobics, and all of our stuff will come up.
Yes. Y'all go check her out, please. And y'all get healthy out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And if you want kids, fight for it. Motherhood is worth every bit of the fight. Yes. Even if you end up doing IVF and all of that, every journey to motherhood is worth the fight. So if you want to be a mother, do not give up.
Yeah, I love that you said that the journey actually starts before, if that's what you want to be a mother. And you say that you'll do anything for your kids, then you have to start before.
The anything is now.
You have to think about it before. So I love that. This was great. It was so great talking to you, meeting you. Y'all look out for this convo, Top Shop Tuesdays. Brooke, Tiera, follow me on IG. We'll see y'all later.
Have a good one.